Hi, welcome back to the channel. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to replace the air filter. Now I'm going to replace it with a DNA filter. A lot better quality than the Fram filter it's in it. I'm also going to fit a fuel control unit on it. I'll show you that in a bit. That's my DNA air filter. That's my service kit. I've already been into it because this is a DNA filter. Now I've oiled it twice and it's been stood for a good hour or so now, just dripping off any loose bits. It's drips of oil that's coming off. Right, what we'll do, I'll get the old filter out and the new filter fitted. Right, let's put this here so you can see what I'm doing. Oh yeah. It's quite a simple job. Just got a lock nut in this plastic cover. There's a washer inside there. That's already pulled that off, isn't it? Put that way, take the washer out. That's the old filter. Absolutely, you can see it. Chock-a-block this one is. I think it was like everything else on this bike. Lack of maintenance. Yeah, it's actually been glued to it now. There is a reason for that. Right, I'm going to clean this plate off. The reason I'm going to put some silicone, 4 blobs of silicone on there. The reason is, this one's been glued, I think. What can happen when you put your filter in there, you press this plate on it, then you've got to put your cover back on. When you're putting your cover back in, if you just touch that, the filter can actually drop below the plate, look. So then it's not going to be sealed properly. And it'll suck all crap and dirt and air in there. So it is worth sticking that to that. Just a couple of blobs of silicone I'd use. What it does, when your new filter goes on, it keeps this plate on this filter, so the filter can't drop away from it. Right, I'm going to get this cleaned up because it's left part to the old filter on, so I'll switch the camera back on when I got this clean. Okay, when you've got the air filter out, it's a good time just to give it a bit of a wipe out in the bottom of here. Make sure everywhere's clean. Up there. That's all cleaned out. Now I put the filter, maybe I think it's 4 blobs of silicone just on the back seal of it, just to try and hold it in place. Push that on there. Okay. The box the same. Give it a good wipe out, make sure there's nothing lurking in there that shouldn't be in there. There we go. Just give that a push just before you put this on. That's it. Push that on, put your washer back in first. And screw the nut on. Quite a simple job. There's no point in trying to make a long video out of it because it's not a big job at all. That's enough. That's tight. Yep, it's uneven. The only thing I would say is, because you've oiled your filter, I've had it stood over an hour, any excess oil was dripped off, but obviously there is oil in there, is maybe after your first run out, or if you put like the filter on, say this afternoon, and you're going out tomorrow, just before you go out, drop the lid back. There's going to be some oil in the bottom there, just wipe it out. Saves any dirt or anything getting stuck to it. Put the lid on. Job done. Simple as that. No problem. Right, I'm going to show you what we're going to do now. Let's have a look. Oh. Now I'm going to fit on here. This is what we got. You can see that properly. It's Pro Racing from America. It's a fuel mod. Now I have used booster plugs in a lot of bikes. Excellent bit of kit. But what a booster plug does, it richens up the mixture on tick over and up to a quarter throttle. So it helps cut out where the bike's running too weak and stalling at traffic lights and taking so long to warm up, and it's just that bit crisper when you set off. But once you've gone past quarter throttle, I don't think it's even actually quarter throttle, it might be a bit less, the bike actually reverts back to stock, running on just off its O2 sensor. Now when I'm up in the mountains, I can be 2,000 odd feet in the air. Well, in the air, it's not an airplane. On top of a mountain or something, meters. And the air is thin. I've actually been in a couple of mountains here in Bulgaria where you're short of breath yourself. So obviously the bike's screaming for air. The difference is with this one, this is fully adjustable. Now I got it from America. I got it for my Honda NC750X. When you buy it, you tell them what bike you've got, and they give you a base setting on it. They set it at a base setting, because on there, the little brass screw you can see there, that's the adjuster. And when you adjust that, you only adjust it an eighth of a turn. Very, very small amount, either one way or the other, to weaken it or richen it. And if you look on there, it does tell you which is low and which is max. An eighth of a turn makes a huge difference. Now what this does, if you richen it, this will richen it right the way through the range, from tick over to flat out. The whole system all the way through is richened up or weakened, whichever you want. Now the other thing about this as well, you can turn it on and off. You can see it on off on there. You just flick the switch on off. One of the advantages of turning it on off, and that when it's turned off, the bike reverts back to stock settings. Or the other thing is, if you had a problem with this, if something did go amiss, you can turn it off. You've isolated it, and the bike will just run back on stock settings. I think that's the main reason they put the switch on, as if there's a problem, but it was just a thing I thought about. Right, so this is what I use. Now, I did jerry-rig this to the bike because this is Euro 4, which you can do. It's not like my Himalayan, which is Euro 5. You have to have a X-Light, which runs off the O2 sensor on the exhaust. This is going to be wired into the airbox sensor, your air sensor on it. Now, let me show you where that is. On the Bullet anyway. It's in there, look. Just where my fingers are, that grey plug. Now, I've already soldered the wires to the two wires in there and run them through to the opposite side. Let's have a look again. I'm going to fit it in here. It's going to sit just in there. and here's the wiring I've run through. So get the box. I'm going to solder them wires to here and heat shrink them down, and then I should probably cut them a bit shorter anyway. Then this will sit inside there. All I should do, stuck Velcro inside there, and there'll be another piece of Velcro on the back, and I'll just sit it in there. For that reason, I can get to the brass screws you see in there to adjust it. Now, obviously it was on the Honda NC 750X settings, and I just jerry-rigged it up, fired the bike up. Oh, it was like carbon monoxide poisoning. It's running mega rich. I turned it down. I ended up turning it down a quarter of a turn, and she just picked up lovely and smooth then. Now, the way I shall test this myself is really by the seat of your pants. What it fires up like, crispness on the throttle, because by richening it up doesn't mean you're getting any extra power. Obviously with the DNA filter and this, it's going to run better, a lot better. But if you think wind it so it's richer, so it's got more fuel, it's going to go faster, forget it, it doesn't work like that. What I shall do, be out on the long run with it a couple of times. I'll take a spark plug spanner with me. I shall pull the plug out. If the plug's black, that means it's too rich. I shall just get a screwdriver, turn that back another 1/8 of a turn, clean the plug off, put it back in, run it again, and I just keep adjusting it till I get a nice light brown colour. It can be a slightly bit on the rich side if you wish, but don't go mad. And that's how I'm going to set it. There isn't any. No, you could go to a rolling road and what have you, but not in Bulgaria. It's not going to happen. I think they'd probably find one if you got fast car type stuff, but not for bikes. So I've never heard of one and never seen one here. So that's how I'm going to set it. But with it being a bit richer, the bike's going to run a bit cooler. And as the temperatures get up to like 40, high 40s here in the summer, and it's air cooled, and they do get a bit hot, the bullets, so it's really going to help it. Right, so I'm going to get on with this. I'll cut the wires off. I'm going to solder them up, heat shrink them down, then I'll put the camera back on so you can see it, and then we'll fire up and see what it runs like. The wiring's all soldered up, as you can see here. I'll just solder the joints, my heat shrink, just pull that down over here. Alright, let's put the camera down so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Now, I'm just going to put some tape around these, just in case for any reason they get chafed in here. Shouldn't do, but it's best to be safe than sorry. Okay. Put the Velcro on it. It's all in place. Heat shrink's on, taped up. Screw just there, end of my fingernail, on off switch. At the moment it's in the off position. Alright, let's fire up. Right. the minute, I don't know where you can really tell, but it's running quite fast and not even. That's with this module off in stop running. Now, when I flick that on, you should hear a tone in the engine change. Yeah, there, it's just kicking in. Now I can adjust that. It's clockwise for making it richer. That was a quarter of a turn, because at the moment, until I get out on the road with it, I've got no idea where we want to be. I sort of basically weakened it off from the Honda NC750X settings. But yeah, just there you can tell already the engine note's constant. She's not going up and down like it was. So I think I might try it like that for a start. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that for a time being. I'll just take the screwdriver with me. It doesn't make a difference if I turn it off now. Yeah, that's with it off. The engine revs have gone up, and actually they're going up and down. Switch it back on if you listen instantly. Yeah. With it switched on and just guessing, it's running a lot smoother, more constant. So, let's turn that off. Obviously it's going to take me a little while on the road with it, get it perfect. But it'd be well worth it by the time I get it sorted. So, it's what it sounds like to me. That's where I'll start. And then after giving it a good run, I'll take the plug out, see what colour the plug is. If it's a bit sooty, it's far too rich, we'll just back her off a bit. But if it's still white, because this plug was white, then it's too weak and we can richen this up a bit, but you know, the option's mine. Or if I want, I'll just turn the thing off. Thing is with it, it does work, 'cause it worked perfect on my Honda. I decatted the Honda, decat pipe on it, and it run awful. It run, but it didn't run brilliant. And I put this module on. By the time I got that set, it was mint. And I thought, well, the performance was greatly improved on the Honda. And I thought, Christ, the fuel consumption is going to suffer on this now. It didn't. If anything, I would say it was slightly better, because you're not using as much throttle. I know performance isn't a big thing on the Bullet. Just smoother running. Might take some of the vibes out of it. But keep the engine cooler. Make it last longer. Well, I hope you like this video. If you did, please subscribe. Big thumbs up. Any comments, anything I can help you with, leave the comments down below. You know I read them, I always do. Always answer every single comment. Always pleased to hear from you. And I'll see you in the next video. I do believe we've got the saddlebag racks and bags coming for this from India. I did buy some Hitchcocks, but I was a bit disappointed in them, and I've sent them back. So I just hope the Indian ones is all right. Right, see you in the next video. Cheers.